So just so you guys know, it's not that I hate homeless people. Just so you know, homeless people are just people that have never or haven't had tough love, right? Anybody that's on drugs, out of control, homeless, typically they haven't had any tough love. Now, what is tough love? Tough love is saying the things that they need to hear but haven't heard. Because typically people give them sympathy and pity. You know, like when you give crumbs to a pigeon. What's funny is when you give crumbs to a pigeon, it stops the pigeon from eating bugs. And it's much more valuable to have a pigeon eating bugs. So, we used to have flocks of pigeons around here eating bugs in the park every day. So, but anyways, yeah, yes, they are human beings, and I actually had a video where I had a conflict with them. The Marine guy, we followed him, and then he gathered up with two more of his buddies, where they have like 6 shopping carts that nobody else will pick up but me. So I got to pick up the shopping carts, take them back to the businesses. Number one, because it's the right thing. Number two, because when you let trash and you let homeless people's stuff gather, they think it's okay, and then they start gathering more. So I have reached out. Oh, they share. I have reached out to the city liaisons, which is Amy Sailors and also Kevin Hernandez. I have not received back any information, but there was a police officer tapping on my door this morning looking for Rudolph, the U-Haul guy, and I got to ask him a question. I was like, because we came into a run-in with the homeless crew, and they did not. I go, you guys need to leave, and they're like, nope, fuck you. And I was like, okay, we'll call the cops. And then they're like, hey, don't call the cops. And it could have gotten violent. I should say that it could have gotten violent very quickly, especially from the quote unquote Marine that I scurried away. So it's funny because Sherry actually got real nervous, and that was one of the things I got upset with her about, because a lot of that is, of course, theater. It's not real. But the homeless guy can't tell the difference and doesn't know the difference. And he knows that he's not supposed to be there. So for him, it's real. And so I had to reassure Sherry about that I don't really mean these things. I really love these people. But how do you help someone like that who doesn't want your help? And the best thing you can do is give them tough love and use the system to its maximum benefit. So my sister-in-law, who is still mad at me, because I testified in court that she was being a bad mom. I couldn't figure out why she's being a bad mom. I was like, I don't know why she's doing that. I was just reporting her behavior, and I didn't like it, and I didn't know what was going on. Well, come to find out, she was doing heroin, and her priorities were shifted. And so what's funny, though, is now she has to pay, she can't see her son, or can't afford to. I don't know what the situation is there, because she won't really talk to me. And she's all heartbroken, and she's in debt, and she's basically homeless. She's living in what's it called? It's a bunch of other people that are like trying to get off drugs. Sober living, that's what it is. Sober living facility. And she's angry. And she's blaming me, right? Because I'm the one that told the authorities. I'm the one that told CPS that she abandoned her child with me, sweet Everly, and which was all the truth. But because I was the one to do it, I'm the focus of her anger, which is crazy. And so I don't mind being that, because I know it's bullshit, and I know, the feelings that she's feeling are bullshit. She's just angry at the world, and she's taking it out on me. And a lot of people do that because I'm the messenger. I'm the one that's bringing the tough love, the words that they don't want to hear, but they should probably hear. And that used to be a thing, man. I remember in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, when all the people fucking, whatever, my parents, were, realizing that they probably shouldn't do drugs with their kids, and they probably shouldn't, whatever. And they were all in recovery, and self-help was this big wave of money and time, but of course it got capitalized and distorted, and then a lot of those parents stopped caring, and then they become grandparents, and then they don't give a shit. Grandparents don't give a shit. They just, it's always ice cream and movies and Disneyland and stuff with grandparents. So, but the problem is that, there's a lot of stuff in this life that needs to be addressed and isn't. And so one of them for here is homelessness. I just saw a video the other day about this guy. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. They were taking a shit right in the middle of the street, or not in the middle, but on the side. But they were taking a shit in broad daylight during rush hour. A motorcycle cop pulls up to the intersection, looks over, sees them, looks away, drives off. And that's why LA is LA. That's why it's super shitty. And so I want to prevent that. I don't want that in my community. And so the way you do it is you hold people accountable, and they know they're not supposed to be there, and so you shoo them away. So the best thing you can say is not in my backyard. And so that's why I shoo them away. And the only thing that those people know, they don't know nice, right? They don't know nice. They take advantage. When they see nice, they go, oh, free handout. So, and of course that's a lot to assume. And I know there's a bunch of young people that go, oh, you're assuming that. And then even one of the homeless guys that I was shooing away, he was a younger guy. He was like in his 20s, and he's like, I'm somebody's son. And I'm like, well, I would beat the shit out of you if you were my son. That's the difference. So, but the reason why he's in his 20s and on drugs and homeless is because nobody ever stood up to him. Nobody ever told him that his behavior was unacceptable. And but you got to remember too that the way that people get homeless is they burn bridges, right? Because they literally say not in my backyard. Get away from my house. You can stay with me for a couple of days, and then, you realize that this person's an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever they are, and you're vulnerable. You've invited somebody into your house that you're now not safe. So again, I put responsibility on the city. So the city, which is Mayor fucking Giles, piece of garbage, Mormon mafia piece of shit, he and the council authorized the purchase of a $14 million electric fire truck. Homeless housing, or even police. Police is fine. If you just fucking buy more police, have some good police, not the bad police that shoot people while they're on their knees with their hands behind their back in a hotel, not 3 miles from here, that kind of police. But I don't know, it's just everything's corrupt, and the way that it starts. And I had to talk with Sherry about this, because there's many times where Sherry feels like I'm being mean to her, mean to other people, and I'm not. So, and I ran into this yesterday I've ran into a lot of people about this with comedy. And there's not a lot of, there's like no comics are like adults. They're not responsible. They go up there and they talk about having to piss in a cup for a job, and, Comic-Con and farts and shitting on themselves and things like that. And which is fine. It's not the subject. It's just sort of like that's the highlight. And it's like, there's more to it than that. And not that I talk about highfalutin things in my stand-up. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, I think I should say. So, but there's several people that have, I rubbed the wrong way. I'll take responsibility for that. I rubbed the wrong way. So, but the problem is that they think it's my responsibility to then grovel at their knees for forgiveness when, they're nobody. So one of the nobodies was Brian Kearley. So I'll put a link to his Facebook and his social media, and you can check him out for yourself. I think I was supposed to do this yesterday. I didn't follow up. Sorry about that. I reached out to Brian Kearley because he had an issue with me. He used to do jokes at the Tempe Tavern about how he sold, how funny it was that he sold his car for a bicycle. And I think I had heckled him a little bit, said, do you have the milk crate on the back? And he goes, sure enough. And I go, are you using bungee cords or tire wraps? And he's like, bungee cords. So, and it was like a fun back and forth. Well, apparently he took that personal and was, now I'm a shitty comedian and I tell shitty jokes, and he's managing Big Pine Comedy Festival. At least that's what he says on his social media. And he does a yearly award, which is it's a make-believe, pretend, shitty little thing. But he also runs the Arizona Comedians website, or I should say Facebook page. And of course, I've been canceled from that, and I don't dare go back on that, just because it's funny how people suddenly, get brave on the keyboard. But when I see them in person, it's all like polite and nice. I'm like, okay. So, but there's just a lot of rotten people, and some people are on their way to being homeless, and and that's what I brought up to my wife, Sherry. I was like, every time you give up, every time you feel overwhelmed about something that I say, when I'm trying to get you to be a better person, I'm trying to get you to remember why you're doing this and why we're married and why we're, what we're working for. And I said, every time you give up, every time you feel frustrated like that, you're on your way to being homeless. And I go, and it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my decisions. It has everything to do with you. So, and both her sisters are in weird situations like that, where they don't own anything. The youngest sister's super klepto. I mean, you thought my rap sheet was long. She's like not allowed in any Walmarts ever, anywhere. And it was funny. I had a moment with her son, Christian, who's now in his 20s and is good at video games. That's about it. And I remember there was a time where we took the kids from her voluntarily, but after that, she, Lana, the sister, felt like I was poisoning Christian's mind, when really I was just trying to get him to find some skills and, be the good person that I think he is inside. And she's like, no. And so I ended up taking him back, and apparently the family didn't like that, even though Lana had threatened to blow up our house if we didn't give her son back. And so, but she liked the kids because the kids help her steal, to live a good life. And I don't know, the whole thing is fucked, and the whole thing is sad. And I was the messenger. I was trying to be the only one to do the right thing and stand up, and it just falls to shit. And then I get blamed because, I say things that aren't popular, but they're true. They're just not popular. So, and I'm supposed to learn my lesson and not speak about things like that. I'm like, well, then how do those things ever get dealt with? You're not dealing with them. I am. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, and I'm getting no support from anybody. So, but that's secret. That's one of the reasons why I don't have any friends, which is fine with me because I'm going to the moon anyway. So, and I don't need a lot of friends to go to the moon with me. So, but why is somebody honking? I don't know. Damn honkies. Anyways, I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and start the weekend, which is really busy for me because I got to do the 3 jobs, which is building, shipping, and then also tending to people that come in through my gates. So gates are open. Come into the backyard if you want. It's 12 to 6 p.m. today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And then that's it. And then it's closed for the week. And it's, again, back to building and shipping. So, but I hope you guys are paying attention to my posts. Alex Hermosi is amazing. And he's basically doing what I'm doing, but on a much higher level. And I will definitely be paying attention to what he's doing. Because those are the kinds of, that's the kind of superpowers that I want to have. And I want to, make movies and do all the things that I want to do. And that requires lots and lots and lots of money. Not that I care about money, but the world does. And that's the only way to do it. So believe me, I have other ideas that are far-fetched and really big. There's one idea that I have about a international commerce site. It's called WGT. and Wiki Global Trade. And the idea is basically catalog everything. It's a free wiki site. Everybody supports it. You put a small tax on anything internet related and anything commerce related, and so it gets paid for. And it basically is a free or very, very low cost, like a nickel or penny or something like that, something very, very cheap that you can research and sell anonymously. So and everything. And so what the government gets and what businesses get is they get market research on cash flow and where markets are peaking up, and the price of everything, what the price is in your local market, what is the price, and all this kind of stuff. But it's got to be anonymous. And if the government decides to do this digital dollar, it's got to be anonymous. Otherwise, we're just sticking to cash and fucking chickens and gold and whatever we can carry. So, but and that's a really great idea, but I'm sure somebody's going to take it and try to fuck it up. That's usually what happens. So that's what happened to eBay. eBay used to be a really great site, but now it's like it's terrible, and it's not accurate, and it's just so creepy and gross. The way that these companies try to get into your life, the way that Facebook is. So, but monitor your social media, monitor your credit, be responsible. I know these are all boring, terrible things that irresponsible people hate. It was funny. Yesterday I was going back and forth with Josh Graves about because I asked him honestly, I was like, do you really believe that your performance was better than my performance at the open mic the other night? No answer. So, but one of the things that he said was, he says, this is the reason why nobody likes you. And I was like, no, only shitty comics don't like me. I go, good comics like you guys like me. And he goes, well, we kind of like you. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's hard for me to relate in the environment that I'm in now. So I need to change environments, and I need to go global. And that's what you guys are helping me do with Robot Underground and Jizz Llama and all these other fun things that I'm doing to help people. So, but I love you guys. Take care of one another. I will talk to you more probably tomorrow. So, bye.